não vai. E os anelos, assim.
Tem que cá ficar. Um rapazinho até lá ali.
Vai acabar. Aquela.
Sócio! Seu! Só tem mesmo. Não, você disse que era aqui. Vai estar. Vai estar, né?
Então, assim, anything else?
No.
Having enjoyed our time at the market, it was time to get on to some jobs, the first one being getting a Portuguese SIM card. Having a Portuguese phone number is quite important for us because it's required in order to request a permission for a land clearance fire online, and we need to do that in order to get rid of some of the prunings that we've got on our land. And obviously the curtain that Joe wanted was at the very top shelf. Brico Marché didn't allow me to record inside, but essentially we just got a few bags of compost. We will be back there at some point to get some scaffolding. What we're trying to do also is do our weekly shopping at different supermarkets each week to see, one, what the availability of different products is like, and also what the overall value of the bill is going to be at the end of the shop. We have already tried Pingo Dos, Lidl, this week it's Continent, and the next one will be Auchan. We'll be going over how much the shopping cost in each of the supermarkets in an upcoming video that will most likely be released in early April, and that will cover basically how much we spent over the course of March on just regular household bills, how much we spent on the weekly shops, and other things that are worth mentioning. Therefore, if you're interested in the cost of living in Portugal, central Portugal in particular, which is where we are, then make sure that you subscribe because you don't want to miss that video.
halfway through.
Beautiful. Brilliant. A lovely piece of cheap furniture. Excuse the mess, the washing up and everything, because this is a working house and we don't, yeah. One of our hobbies is not cleaning. Unfortunately, I suppose. But anyway, the idea behind this little thing, piece of furniture, is to take some pressure off these shelves, because at the moment we've got some tins up there and tins weigh a fair bit of, well, weight. And I don't really know how well these top units are fixed to the wall. So rather than sticking a load of weight up there in terms of glass, so for example in Portugal it's very common for beans to be sold in jars as opposed to tins. I suppose that's a tin, but yeah, a lot of beans are sold in jars, so obviously glass, extra weight, so I'm just trying to take the weight off there and utilise something like this so that I've got easy access to the stuff as well. And at the bottom I'll just put some onions, garlic and potatoes. So I'll see what I can actually fit onto this. Our honey from the market yesterday, that was lovely. Can highly recommend Fundao Market on Mondays if you are in the area, but you have to be there. Well, yeah, you want to be there before 11. Ideally, if you can be there between 9 and 10, then that's ideal. Right.
Yeah, well, thanks. This is a good as made for that stove.
Yeah, fits perfectly. Which compost should I use? can help me with this? Oh, yeah. It's not particularly heavy. It's not, it's just a bit cumbersome. I think that's pretty level.
Yeah, I'd turn it around though.
Which way? Towards the wall though?
Yeah.
Like it?
A bit more. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Old keyboard out. New keyboard in. With our Portuguese phone number now acquired, we were able to request permission for a land clearance fire. We were quite lucky as it rained that morning, which meant that the risk of the fire spreading was quite minimal.
Burns through quite quickly, doesn't it?
Drives almost split.
We had two separate piles of old mimosa prunings that we wanted to get rid of as a priority. Previously, with our visits being quite short, our time to do things on the farm was quite restricted. We were quite lucky to have a help of a local farmer to help us with some of the land clearance. However, of course, we couldn't rely on him doing everything. By the end of the day, we managed to clear all of the old mimosa, along with all the new olive prunings. We still have 3 olive trees which we want to prune, however we ran out of time this week. We hope that you enjoyed this episode, and if you have, then please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to follow us along on our journey of settling into a life in a Portuguese village, then do hit that subscribe button, and we hope to see you in the future.